what was interesting at this time, there was a big debate going on about where the actual original site of English settlement on American soil was. It in Plymouth, Massachusetts, or was it in Jamestown? So this was a raging debate at the time. It was in all the magazines, all the newspapers, pro and con. Who was the owner of this illustrious honor? Eventually, the research bore out that it was indeed Virginia and Jamestown. That was the first settlement where there was really a government, rules, regulation, and a real organizational structure in place. So, very graciously, one of the dames from Boston, so a Massachusetts dame, Mrs. George Hale of Boston, proposed that this church be restored in Jamestown. This Episcopal church that had burned down during Bacon's Rebellion should be restored, and this should be a national dames project. Everyone decided it was a great idea. The proposal by Mrs. Hale was unanimously approved, and they moved to do this project. This was before Jamestown had really been excavated much at all. So that was fortunate. There were still shards of the slate roof, parts of brick that were left. The tower itself remained, so they were able to match the brick. And the dames were able to buy two structures from the same period made of the same specific salt glazed brick to rebuild the church with, which was very handy. And they found different pieces of like the Gothic windows that had originally been in the church. So the reconstruction was very faithful to what it originally looked like, as to their best of their knowledge, with these shards and pieces that they found. They were in Jamestown, since it is the site of the first English settlement in America. It is really a national project. It's something that brings all the dames together. So the woman who proposes it, Mrs. Hale, is from Boston, from Massachusetts. And though, of course, she probably would have loved for Plymouth to be the site of this project, she says the research bears out that Jamestown is the original site that we need to honor. It should get credit for this. And she has an interesting speech that she makes, and she says, quote, "I think that we all take the greatest interest in our own state, and I am conscious that my connection with this society, while it has widened and broadened my mind towards the rest of the country, has also intensified my feeling about my own state. But we must remember that we are a national society, and our local work, however interesting, should always be secondary to the interest of the society as a whole."